Hi guys, how you doing? Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Sorry, I have to do some edit on the background picture. So, here, I believe you can all hear me. If you can, please send a message down so I know if you can hear me or not. Okay, so it's a beautiful day. I don't know how you spent your day, but my day was fine. Had a lot of arranging to do some things, but it was a good day on my end. So today we would be having a very interesting class. Very, 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 very interesting class. Um, Today we're going to talk about CLI command line interface and a deep introduction or a deep dive into command line interface. Um, I figured out from the last class there were like some reviews and people were like they don't really know anything about command line interface, and um, I think for you to be a developer, you have to know how to navigate through your terminal. You have to know how to navigate through command line, and even if you choose to go further, right? If you choose to start going ahead, you still have to write some command line codes, right? And for your Git class at least is solely dependent on yes, you can use GitHub desktop and all, but when you have command line knowledge, you know what is happening on the background, and you can be able to control a lot of things from your terminal, right? So to show you how command line interface is important, even your IDEs also has a command line interface. As the likes of VS Code, IntelliJ, and the rest, they also have command line interface to show you how important it is to have to have knowledge of command line and how to use the command line. So today's class would majorly be on that. I'll be teaching you I'll be introducing you to command line and the things you need to know about how to navigate, how to you learn some of the basics in command line. Um, so for this class, you have a deep dive into command line, Git fundamentals, and yeah, under the so it's still under the Git fundamental series. So this is still under the Git fundamental series, and yes, last class I introduced you to GitHub, just a little introduction, not it's not a deep introduction, right? But this class, and also I told you what CLI is. So in this class, teaching you deeply on CLI and some CLI commands that will be useful to you, you know. So for this class, we would be looking at this section. So we're going to cover this particular section. Bless me. Section. Sorry, I guess it's too big. Yeah. So we're going to cover this particular section. You describe. I'll describe what the command line is for you. Open command line in your computer. You should be able to use this command line to navigate directories, display directory contents, use command line to create a new directory and a new file, use the command line to rename or destroy a directory and a file, use command line to open a file if or folder in a program. Right, I'll teach you all these things. So you should be able to know the difference between a directory and a file, and you should know how to be able to navigate through directories. Right. So this you're all going to learn today. How to be able to make a directory, right? How to make folders, that's a directory, how to make files, how to open a file, how to copy a file, things like that. So the basic commands I need to know. So that's basically what you're going to be learning today. So um, brace up, buckle up. I'm still going to allow some people who are not here yet to be able to join. So I'll give the section probably 2 minutes more, and while we allow people come in to learn. So let's just wait for the next 2 minutes, and you should be able to hear the sweet sound in the background, right? It's just going to be me playing a good music at the background. But yeah, Meanwhile, while we wait for other people to join, I don't know about any other person, but let's just talk about what you listen to when you're doing something serious. Yeah, I mean, this is just like an off topic here. So, for me, when I'm coding, I probably depends on how intense the code is. Uh, when I'm just coding something that I've done before, right, and I'm just redoing it, probably an implementation of something I've done before, so I don't need to really focus here. Or building something I've built before, and I'm just picking some models in it. I just play Afrobeats, and the reason why I play Afrobeats is because Afrobeats gives you that vibe, you're dancing and all, but um, you're not optimal, or yeah, you don't need that optimal concentration. Yeah, you don't have to make your brain work so deeply. Then when I want my brain to work so deeply, I listen to mind aerobics. So let me give you an example of a mind aerobics. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is one mind aerobics. Let me see if it plays on your background. I doubt. I doubt. I doubt. I doubt. 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 Okay, I don't know how to do like some technical setup on how to do it, but those are the kind of song I play I am when I'm trying to focus, when I'm trying to listen to something, or when I'm trying to do something that is really that needs my concentration. I don't really play that loud. Yeah, I just play it like in a very low tone, and yeah, you just have this concentration. You just concentrate, and it's really good. It helps me. Um, they're called the one that I was playing is instead Interstellar. I forgot how to pronounce it. Yeah, sorry, Interstellar. Interstellar is a very nice piano piece, right? It's a really really nice one. Although I don't really play the piano really well, but yeah, it's a really nice one. And there are lots of one. There's Canon. There's Corey Binenki. There's Distance. I think Distance is somewhere here. Distance somewhere here. Yeah, there are a lot of them. There's Novella Piano, and there's so yeah. So that's for me though. I mean, I don't know how you concentrate, what you listen to when you concentrate, but it's just a bit off topic. And yes, you can also listen to Solitude if you like, and there are like other ones to go into it. So that was enough off topic for the day, I guess. So let's move ahead to other things. I guess I guess people are still joining. Maybe we should still allow them for like some minutes, right? So allow them for some minutes. So I don't know the exact genre, but I feel I know when you songs like that or piano or sounds like that are called mind aerobics. So I can search for you, mind aerobics. So here's another one. Uh, I don't know. There are lots of it, but that is the word there, mind aerobics. So you can, if you want to listen to things like that, so that is you can call them mind aerobics, right? And you can also use if you don't want to be searching for specific songs, you can just go to YouTube Music and search for Interstellar. All right, maintain piano there. Once you play just one song, YouTube Music has a very nice algorithm that the next songs you're going to be listening to are songs that are of the same kind of sounds, like familiar sounds, yeah. And you can toggle across familiar sound, discover instrumentals, right? And you hear good things, good sounds that can help you concentrate. That's for me though. I mean, I don't know about any other person. Well, uh, let's begin. Let us let us get into why we are here. So, kindly confirm you can see my screen clearly because this class is going to be really intensive, and I would need everyone to be really really prepared for the class. So yeah. Um, like I said, for those who are not yet, this class will be going into a deeper dive into command line. And like I said, command line is really important in your developer's development life cycle. You would have to, because you're definitely going to see it at every point in time as a developer, right? You're going to see the command line interface almost every time. Even when you go higher, you still have to know how to use command line codes and scripts, right? There's scripting language if you want to go deeper, but I'm just going to show you some basic things, operations that you're going to be doing all the time to show you how important command line interface is. You see it in your IDEs, you see it in VS Code, you see it in IntelliJ. The command lines are there. So for those who doesn't know what command line is, um, let me give you a quick example what command line is. So when you go to your laptop and for Windows users, search for PowerShell. For Mac users, search for um, terminal. Yeah. So if you look at this place here, you see this is my terminal. Let me uh, let me increase the screen so you see. Mhm. So I'm saying this is terminal. This is how terminal interface is, right? For Windows users, if when you open PowerShell, you should see how it looks like. All right, this is your command line interface. This is your command line interface. So this is like it's called command line, like some people call it CLI. That is command line interface, right? Mm, so you most probably not be the first time you're hearing about it. So what does this help you do? Command line interface um, is an interface, right, where you write languages that instructs your computer or your device on what to do, right? Before the introduction of GUIs, that's before back in the early stage when computer was first produced. Sorry about that. When computer was first produced, what we used in operating the computers was what GUIs. We use GUIs in operating the computer. Sorry, we use the command line interface in operating the computer. So if you remember those old movies where you see someone typing something, right, and it's in line and the computer is replying back, something like that, and you're not seeing interface, so someone is using the computer. In fact, those supercomputers and old computers then. So this was like it was command line interface that was used to operate the computers, and it can be used in many other things, right? Let's say for example, you um you have this file. Let's say yeah, let's say you have a folder called Bootcamp, and I have these images, all these images here on this folder. let's say I want to copy all these files here to a new folder, right? Or no, that's easy. Your computer can do that easily. Let's say I want to actively copy only files that has the letter B, or files that has the letter L, or files that has letter O. You understand? And copy them to a new folder, right? Normally, if I want to do that, I have to first of all use here and select all of them, right? Then copy. Or if I want to open a file that has a content inside it, right? And pick the content inside it. Then if you file, let's say there's a .txt file somewhere here, all right, and .txt file has the name melody. So if you have like multiple .txt files which has the name melody and some doesn't have the name melody, if I want to be able to pick each of those files, right, that has name melody, that has a content called melody, right, and be able to like how do I say it? Iterate it, right? Make sure that for those files, right, only the ones that has the content melody that I should copy it and paste somewhere else, right? If I want to do it with my system with normal GUI, I have to open the file, look at it. Is there melody? Is there melody inside it? If there's melody inside it, okay, I'll copy it and go and paste. I'll open that file again. Is there melody inside it? So imagine have like a file of about 1,500 and so let's say 1,500 files. I have to keep opening them to confirm if there's like a number, if there's a text called, if it holds the text melody in it. Imagine how long that would take, yeah. But with your command line interface, you can do this in split seconds, right? Not split seconds actually, but faster, right? You just have to write a code base that would iterate iterate all the files in a particular folder. Then once it gets all the files in the particular folder, it opens all those files. Then when it opens the file, then he picks out anyone that has the name melody. And once he sees one, he pastes it to that new folder. Then goes to the next one. When he sees that it has the name melody, picks it out, goes to the next folder. So he keeps doing that until he can run through the 1,500 files automated all by itself, and you wouldn't have to do anything. You can focus on doing other things, yeah. That's what command line interface can do, and that's what programming can help you do. All right. So even when you start writing Python, right? If for those who are going to learn Python probably in the future, because the cohort two, we're going to use Python in the cohort two. That's after like 2 months stress, probably 6 months. Then probably we'll start a new session. And I'm going to teach cohort. I'm going to teach cohort two, and in that cohort two, I'll be using Python instead of Java, right? And for those who are going to go into raw Python and with NumPy, data science, and using OpenCV and the rest, right? You see that there are a lot of things that you can, and operations you run with Python, and those operations that you're running with Python is only being done with what do you call it? It's only being done with on the terminal, right? So yeah, okay. If you have issues on opening PowerShell, so someone is already giving a direction on how to open it. So you don't have to follow as I'm teaching, but if you feel you can follow, no problem. But if you can't follow, don't worry. By the end of the class, the let's say before tomorrow morning or by tomorrow before 12 p.m. tomorrow, the content of what I taught is going to be uploaded on the blog, so you can go to the blog and you can view it, and you can also follow through the class on the blog. All right, and so those who are using Windows, if you're having issues opening it, you can use Windows key arrow, then search for CMD, then it's going to open. But I always advise people to use PowerShell, because PowerShell uh, has more accessibility. It gives you that Linux feel. All right, so if but yeah, so for PowerShell, use Windows X, right? Then select PowerShell. So moving ahead, I believe you understand a bit about what command line interface is and what it can help you do. All right. So the next step I'm going to do now is to go down into business. I'm supposed to go down into what business. So uh, I believe you can see my screen. Yeah, I'll just take it down a little. So yeah, I think it's better this way. Yeah. So I'm trying to be sure you can see my screen. So yeah, so this is the first thing you have to learn. Yeah. Um, this is some people call this the shell. Basically, Linux calls it the shell. And most of the why the people call Linux a powerful um language, right? You know why Linux is called a powerful language? Linux is called a powerful language because it runs in the root of your device, right? And basically, the shell script language I write here are actually Linux language, right? They are similar to most of them are Linux language, are similar to Linux language, and you know you can completely run your laptop that is using the Linux OS, right, from your shell. That's from the terminal. Even MacBook was built on Linux kernel, right? So most of the top things that you see, Linux is one of the top operating system that you see, and it's open source. So I can't start explaining Linux and operating systems to you right now, but I think you can also go and make your own research about operating systems and some things about operating systems. Yeah. So I'll just show you something, right? Last class I taught you a command, the ls command. All right. But before I go deep, some people, I understand that there were some mistakes. People didn't understand that this. So some people were seeing $sign and they decide to write this percentage sign and write ls. No. So this is what makes your system understand that you are writing a command, right? After this precedes your command. So in MacBook, it is percentage sign. On Linux or probably your Windows, it's going to be $sign. So you don't have to write this thing too. Just write the command ls, right? Don't write what is here. In most of the examples or tutorials you see on the blog, right, I'm going to have this thing. Mine is going to be dollars. Mine is going to be percentage sign because I'm using Windows. I'm using MacBook, right? But those who are using Windows and those who are using um what they call it Linux, yeah, it's going to be that $sign or something else. I don't know how it looks in Windows again. I've forgotten, yeah. But just so you know, when you press Enter key, it's always going to be there. You don't have to type it. It's always there. It's always there. So you don't have to be the one to type it. The computer is going to type it for you automatically. You understand? So you just have to just write your command. So if yours is $sign, you should see that when you press enter, it's going to show you $sign first. You understand? So you don't have to type anything like that. So I'm saying this so that you don't make the mistake of typing percentage sign when I am going through the class, right? So now since that is settled, so this is so when the shell is first open, right, you're presented with a prompt and indicating that the shell is waiting for an input. So it's this prompt that indicates that the shell is waiting for an input. So you see this stuff ticking, right? You see this line here, this particular one here, this one here shows that it's expecting you to input something. All right, so that's like this is the first prompt, which is $sign. So this sign here is the prompt. Then there's a text cursor waiting for you to make in an input. So you do not have to type the prompt. I repeat. So in case you're seeing any of my tutorials or any tutorial online and you see either a $sign or a percentage sign, that is the prompt. Don't type it. Look at the command, right? Don't type the prompt. I think I can give you an example. So let me see if I can share an example to you. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, so look at this place. So you see, well, okay. So you see here. So you see here in this example now, there's like just ls, yeah. So this $sign is a prompt. You're not supposed to type it. Just type in your ls. That's all, right? $sign is the prompt. You're not supposed to type it. Just type in your ls, and that's all you need to type in. So you don't have to start typing something. You don't have to type in the $sign, or in this case, the $sign. In my case, it's
Sorry, for those the person saying for the person saying my own is not there, please use PowerShell. Don't use CMD, please. Use PowerShell. Use PowerShell. Don't use CMD. All right, use PowerShell. So that's the reason why I say use PowerShell. CMD is limited. You can't write some commands here on um on CMD. For Windows users to be able to open PowerShell, do Window X, your Windows key, and press X, then search for PowerShell. Or probably click on PowerShell rather, and you'll be able to see a PowerShell interface. So now let's begin. So let's say if we want to know the current directory you're in, I think I'll move into directory when I start. I'll explain what directory is to you later, but to just show you where you are on your laptop, to know where you are on your laptop, you can just type in this, and it tells you where you are on your laptop. Tells you the current if you're in a particular directory and you want to know the files and folders inside your directory. When you type in ls shows you all the lists. So ls is what they call list, right? list, that is list, right? It shows you the list of everything that you have on a particular directory. You understand? So if you want to see the list of everything you have on a particular directory, you press in ls and you see the list of everything you have on a directory. Then let's assume I want to so yeah, so that shows let's say another thing you can know if you want to know who you are, so I can do this and it gives me my username. I see the result here. So it's more like you question it and it gives you an output. So if you ask the computer who am I, right? It's not it's a command on its own, you understand? Because if it's not a command, it's not meant to run. And again, if you write a wrong command, it gives you a reply. And this command is not found. Like, for example, let me show you this. So you see this command not found HP. So if you put in the wrong command, computer is going to tell you that there's no command like that. So because I wrote who am I, it doesn't mean you can. It doesn't mean that who are you is going to work. I think who am I is a command. That's why it's working, right? So and that thing is it's very difficult for us to remember all these commands. So sometimes, oh sorry, I think that's dash help. Forgotten the command for that. Like I said, it's very difficult to remember all those commands. So sometimes it's good to always, you can always use Google to remember some of the commands that you're not supposed to, that you can't remember, right? And that's the thing. And again, I think there's an help command. I probably have forgotten the help command, but the help command helps you. It shows you some other commands that you can write, right? And if in case you forget something, the help command shows you what you can write in case you forget something. So I think that gives you a simple understanding of what CLI is, what your shell, the terminal is, and I've told you um, some advantage you can do with CLI, right? So the principles of shell and shell commands, or or command line commands, or command line interface. Yeah, the commands you write in command line is basically a program that the primary goal is to read comments and run other programs. Yeah, and yeah, so in this short class, I'll teach you how to navigate to a file on a directory, create a file in a directory, create and also create a directory. Alright, I'll teach you how to check the length of a file, chain commands together. You know, yeah, I think that's where we're going to stop because you don't have to go so deep inside. So now let's go to the next part of our class, which is navigating files and directories. Yeah, so um, like I said, I've told you before that with CLI, you can move around your computer, right, without the graphical interface. Um, so within this, I'll be teaching you how to move around your computer via CLI. I'll teach you that is via command line interface. That's it, via your terminal, your PowerShell, right? Using shell commands, right? I'll also teach you how you can see what files and directories you have, right? Or what files are in the directory. I've showed you how the list command. I'll also show you some other things. I can also I'll show you how to know the location of a file or directory in your computer. So basically, that's what you're going to be seeing in this class. So the part of the operating system, all right, that is responsible for managing your for managing files and directories is called the file system. Yeah. So the file system is like see it as your let's say you have a shelf, right? And the shelf has different shelf number, right? And those shelf number they're like different files in it. So the shelf numbers now it's like one folder has different files inside it, right? So what handles that shelving and everything is your operating system, and it's called the filing system of probably file system, right? It organizes our data into files, and which holds informations and directories, right? So some commands are frequently used to create, inspect, rename, and delete files and directories, right? So start explaining them. We're going to use terminal. So I'll use terminal to be able to create, be able to use terminal to be able to inspect, to be able to rename, and also be able to delete a particular file in a directory. So first, let's find out. Let's find out where we're going to run our codes. Or yeah, so find out where we're going to run in our codes or where we are in our system. So I'm going to write this. So if you see what this is, this thing shows it's supposed to show your your directory. So it means I think PWA means post working directory. So this is to show the where you are currently on your system. That's your current working directory. So if I do this now, it tell me I'm on user slash Amazing Melody. Let's say for example now I do ls and I move into documents, cd documents, and I write pwd again. You see that this one, sorry, you see that this one is different from this one because now I have moved into documents now, and it's now showing me that I am inside documents now. So documents is now my current working directory. And now how to know that you are in a particular directory? You can also look at this place here. So you see, when I was still in my home, that's the center, like the home, that's the home directory of my laptop. All right, it shows this curly dash. I don't know what they call it in English, but I call it curly dash. So it shows this curly dash sign here. All right, but at the time I moved into documents, it changed to documents. Let's say I um I'll still show you some of these commands what they mean, but let's just continue. So let's say I go back. I've gone back a step back, right, and it's now showing me the quality dashback. So if I do cd, I don't go to documents again, I want to go to downloads, right? Spelled well, yeah. So it says it's asking for access because terminal is an admin part of your system, so you have to give some kind of access. So if I do cd downloads, so you see it's now telling me that I'm in downloads. So if I do pwd says that hey, you're now in downloads. So I'll go back to if I do this, I go back. Right. So this means going back one step. That's going back to where you were previously. If I do this, means going back two step. But I've only moved one step, so I can go back two step. I'll show you what going back two step looks like. So let me just do this. Then if I want to just go to home direct, right? I don't want to go back two step, go back one step. I want to go back to home, like starting from scratch. When I do this, it takes me back to home directly. So CD curly brace is taking me back to home. So I'll just do this and cd cd documents. I just remember the first time I saw someone writing command line interface. So that was when I was in the university in my year one. I think in my year one, my first year in the university. So I they just opened the ICT, the new ICT center, and students do go there to use the laptops there and the rest. So one of those days, I said, let me just go with my friend. So I went with friends to the new ICT center, and we were like, there was free internet, and we were just using the internet and trying to see how. So yeah, I saw someone using the command line interface to operate the system, and I was like, what is this thing? I understand. The person was like, he's operating the system. It's just trying out something that command. It's called command line. You can operate your system from it without using GUI. And I was like, that was the first time I've seen someone doing that. I was like, wow. I was so surprised, and I used to call the guy Guru. I was calling the guy Guru. Actually, it was my classmate. Yeah, and I go back home and I was like telling my brother, I met one Guru like that. One guy. The guy is so good. He was operating system without without using GUI. That he was using command line. All those things. I mean, it's also shocking to me then. That was like the first time, and I was like, then after like some time, I went after learning, and I was like, oh, it's just it's just writing some codes, and there's nothing so deep and serious into it. You just have to understand what a particular command does. You know, the cd command change is called change directory. That's what cd means. So cd means change directory. So it helps you switch to a new directory. Ls means list what is currently in a directory. PWT means post working directory. So they're like different commands, and you just have to know what they do, right? And I'll show you some of the commands right now. And most of these commands, when you build them, it has what it's supposed to do. And it has a command also following it. You understand? So you just have to know how to work with them, what they do, right? And that's basically what you just have to know how to use. So sorry, weird. I don't know if I'm still online because this stopped loading and I can't really tell if I'm still online. Please, I think someone should kindly help me indicate if they can still hear me, so I'll be really sure if I'm still online because I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, let's see how to do a strong edit. Ah, sorry, I don't know. I could not confirm if I was still online. The whole stuff went hanging. So if you have also been following up since, let's still continue. So as I was saying, yeah. So uh, CD means change directory, and some other things you learn as I'm going on this class today. So the next thing you have to learn is so I've taught you what what CD is and some other things. So yeah, let's say I'm in documents now, right? Let's say I want to open let me see what is in documents. I do this and I see what's in documents. Yeah. So how do you know a folder and how do you know a folder and how do you know a file? A file is always going to show its extension. What's an extension? When you see dot this is an extension, right? This is an extension. This is an extension, right? So this means what dots, and this means this is a PDF file. This means this is a PDF file. This means it's a zip file. And now when the file does not, when a file does not have an extension, it means it's a folder. This is 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 a folder. So now, if I want to enter into that folder now, I'll just do cd, that's change directory, and move into this. Now I'm in Bootcamp. If I do pwd, you see it tell me I'm in documents, and inside documents, I'm inside the Bootcamp folder. Now, if I do ls, ls then tell me, okay, these are all the files that are in Bootcamp. All right. So now that I'm here, if I want to then go back to home, my home directory, the first directory I was in, or I want to go back two-step, if I want to go two-step, let's say I want to go two-step back first, right? Uh, I don't have a folder here, do I? I have a folder. So let me enter this particular folder here. This one, this is the folder. You see, there's no extension here. So let me enter this folder, cd forum. So if you're typing something and it's quite long, right? Let's say like if you see this is very long, and if you notice, there's no other folder with the name Forum Lab here except from these two. So if I want to open this guy now, right, and I'm typing it's quite long, you can't be typing your name. So once I type something that is unique to any other name here, let's say Forum capital letter A, means no other thing has that thing except from the other file. I can just press tab. So when I press tab, right, it knows where I want to go to, and I can do this, and it takes me to where I want to go to. Do you understand? So that helps you type faster in command line, right? So when you want to open something, then if you want to bring up your previous command, that's previous command that you wrote. For those who don't know what tab interface means, so this is how your tab key is on your laptop. This is tab key. So you see this key here, this one here. So this is your tab key. This one. This is your tab key, right? So in some keyboards they'll write it there tab. In some keyboards they'll not write it there. So this is it here. It's always either above caps lock. In some keyboards is above your enter key. Oh no, yeah, beside your backspace in some keyboard, right? Left and right side. So yeah. So so if you're writing something on your command line interface and you just want to do autocomplete for it to complete what you're writing faster, right? You can use your tab key and it will complete what you're writing faster, right? But you have to write a unique name first, right? You have to write in a unique name first. If you don't write a unique name, let's say for example, I have Forum Lab and that folder called Forum Lab, right? And this one is 1.2, the other folder's name is 1.3. I have to write first Forum Lab hyphen 1.3, then the remaining ones there now. So now I've differentiated this one from the other one. Let me show you an example. So I would documents, bootcamp, this I'll duplicate. It's taking quite a time. Okay, so it has duplicated, right? So now let me rename it. So now if I try to do, I'll go back a directory. Just go back one back and it takes me back to bootcamp, right? So now let's say I want to do cd forum. Once I press tab, now it's asking me which of the forum I want to go to, whether it's one or two. You understand? So if I press two and I continue, it completes, right? But if I press three and I do the same thing, it completes. Now let's see what happens if I press four. Probably should tell me it's nothing like four. It does nothing. I'm pressing tab right now and it's doing nothing. Yeah, are you seeing it? It's doing nothing. Why? Because um there's no forum tab. There's no forum lab 1.4. You understand? So let's assume that there's another file called forum. Right? Let me rename this one. Rename to just forum. So let me name this just forum and let's see what happens. So I just do this and I press tab. So now it tells me all the forum that we can have. So we have forum as a directory on its own. We have forum lab and we have forum lab as a file. So it's telling me which one do I want to go for. So if I say this one, right, and I can use tab. When you keep pressing the tab, you iterate across which other one you want to open, right? So you can try this on your own. So this is just to help you move faster around CLI. That's the essence. So yeah, I also want to open this one. I'm inside forum lab 1.2 by open folder. That is this particular folder as a thing like this. So this one, I'm in this folder right now. If I open it, what do you see? You see documentation, files, and updates. Yeah. So now let's see what it's going to show me if uh, so let's see what's going to show me. I don't know why my this thing moved left. But yeah. Mhm. So um I'll do this now. I'll do ls to show the list of what is there. Now it tells me I have these two folders. I have three folders, sorry. Documentation, files, and updates. Right. But now I want to go two-step backward. Going two-step backward means what? If I do pwd, it shows that I am in inside documents and inside bootcamp, right? And bootcamp, and sorry, I'm inside forum lab, which is inside bootcamp, and bootcamp is inside documents, and documents is inside the main directory, which is what my name, Amazing Melody. Do you understand? So now, what if I said I want to go back two step? I don't want to go to bootcamp. I want to go to documents. If I want to go back to documents, all I have to do is this: cd dash dash one dash dash two means go back from dash dash one takes me here, dash dash another dash dash sorry, another dot one takes me here. So this is it. So now I am back in documents. That's how you change directories. There are different ways of so there are different types or different ways of changing directory depending on what you want to achieve. So now you most probably will not see the importance of all these things you're doing now, but when we start coding and you start pushing to Git, you will start seeing the importance of it because at some point you have to be in a particular directory to be able to run Git. Sometimes you have to be in a particular directory to do some particular activities, right? And if you're not in that directory, then you might have issues. For those who are going to be for the Java developers too, you have to know some things. For those who are for the for front end, you also have to know some of these things here. So it's going to be really helpful to you. Now I've showed you how to navigate through Git, right? So what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? So I've showed you what PWD does, um, your home directory, what it is, how to go to your home directory, how to list contents in your home directory. Now, um, I'm going to show you some other things. So the list, so I told you that the list, the ls command or some commands have some other specifications that it comes with here. So like I said, ls normally prints ls normally prints the names of the files and directories in the current directory. Yeah, we can make its output more comprehensive by using the hyphen capital letter F, right, option, which tells ls to classify the outputs by adding a marker to a file and a directory name to indicate what they are. Like for example, when you have slash, it indicates that it's a directory. When you have at, it indicates that it's a link. When you have star, it means it's executable. So for example, there's also example, to know what some things are. Let's say if I do this, I'm inside documents now, right? And hyphen F. Now you see some things, right? Formerly, when we just did ILLS, it just shows bootcamp without forward slash. So now you can know that this bootcamp with a forward slash means it's a directory. It's a directory means that it's a kind of a folder. You understand? So that what makes it indicate that now it indicates that this particular file you can enter into it. You understand? So a clear example again is this. Let me just show you something. If I do pwd, you notice something after melody, you still have slash in it. It means that melody can you can enter into melody. Sorry, I think that sounds wrong. Means you can enter into the folder melody. I miss melody, yeah. Then um sorry. Then if to show that documents is not just uh, the end of it's not a file but a folder, right? When you do that ls hyphen sorry hyphen hyphen f to show that it shows the ones that are directories, right? This is a directory, this is a directory, this is a directory, this is a directory. Then if you have an executable file, what's an executable file? Executable files are files that has commands in it, right? And they need to be executed. Like let's say for example your installation files, all those files, right? I don't know if I have an installation file. I do have an installation file. Downloads. Let me see if I have something in downloads. City downloads. ls so ls so I don't have any executable file, yeah. I thought I had one executable file, yeah. But yeah, so executable files are files that I can run, right? So then also if you notice that you've written too many content, right? So you've written a lot of things here, right? And your listing keeps going long. If you want to clear everything, when you just type in this, it clears. So when you type in CLEAR, that's clear. It clears everything you have written before, and you're starting afresh again, right? Then also if you want to if you forgotten the code or the command that you wrote before and you want to be able to still get it back, that your previous commands, like previous commands you've written before. Like I know this happens to me before a lot. When you're writing some commands that you don't want to start, you can't remember them, but you've written it before, right? You can just be pressing, so you can use the up button. If you don't know what the up button is, let me see on your keyboard. Right, there's an arrow that says up arrow, left arrow, right arrow, down arrow. So the up arrow there, when you keep pressing it up and down. So um, let me go down first. So this is the earliest one that I wrote now. So if I press up, take me to the last one I wrote. Press again, take me to the last one before that one. Take me to the last one before that one. So you can be going up like that. So you see till the first command that you wrote on command line, right? So until the system goes off, right? So that's how to still you can still operate using. Then in case you need help, right? Help in some things as regards if you forgot something and you need help on your um on a particular directory. So when you do ls hyphen help, so weird. Nice option help usage ls that's weird. It's supposed to go through, but I don't know. It's supposed to still show all the files, like all the help listing, but yeah. Um well yeah, so that is that for now. So if you want to, let's say you want to open a directory, like you want to open a particular directory, yeah. Let's say you want to open a particular directory. I'll go back to I'll go back to home. I want to open, let me do ls command first. So it show me the list of everything I have. If I wanted to list, not open, if I wanted to list the content of what is in a particular directory, let's say I wanted to list what is in documents. So I can do ls F, not desktop, documents. I wanted to list what is in documents, right? So I didn't have to enter documents, but I can list everything that is inside documents. Do you see what happened here? Yeah. Because normally, if I want to show what's in documents, I would have to do something like I have to go into document first. So I have to go into document first, you know, then do ls and I'll sort inside document. But now this is telling you that if I'm also in my home directory, right, I can just do something like this. Ls, let's say you're looking for a file, you're not sure where that file is. So rather than opening the directory, that is documents directory, I can just from the directory before the documents directory or the directory you want to go into, right? I can just do this ls, then documents, and I can open the files in the documents. Then if you want to show the ones that to try to tell you specifically what kind of things are inside it, if there are directories inside it, you can then do the ls hyphen capital letter F documents, right? So I think there are lots of things that we're going to learn in this class. So I think, but with this one, I think it gives you clear understanding of some things I've been telling you about. Then, uh, so yeah, that should be the end of this class. I think we've touched a lot, but we're still going to do more next class. So I want to make sure I use this period to make you understand, or today and Saturday. So Saturday's class is going to be text based, and I want to make sure I am possibly I give good examples, right, on the text interface on some of the things I've talked about today. So I'm trying to make sure that each class does not exceed 1 hour, so that it's good for everyone to understand and have a deep understanding of whatever thing is being taught. So you can practice, you can still read more. Tomorrow's class I'm going to it's going to be it's sorry not tomorrow. Saturday's class is going to be text based. By 12 p.m. I'll be releasing the content and it's going to come together with today's content. So it's going to be a full content on everything you need to learn about command line, right? So that you need to learn about command line that will be helpful to you in programming, right? And also it kind of gives you when you keep practicing with this thing, it gives you a concept about how programming works, right? And you already get used to how code to codes, knowing that okay, this particular code does this particular thing, this particular code does this particular thing. So when you have that mindset in your head that a particular code that you see is responsible for one particular thing, and a particular code that you're seeing here is responsible for another particular thing. So it builds your mindset so that okay, when you start when you start programming, right, you know that okay, you're writing for loop. Okay, this is supposed to do something, so mastering this is like you're mastering a programming language, and it gives you deeper insight to programming language in programming. So I hope to see you guys. I hope you guys consume the contents for Saturday class. It's going to be on the blog. The link to the blog is still. Uh, I'll still send an email across on how to access the blog. Right. I'll still give you access on how you can access the blog. Um, So I hope you guys shall please, if you have any question, and yeah, for those who have been asking, there will be a Telegram group that will be created next week. So for the for yeah, like I said, I wanted to use Discord, but I decided to use Telegram. Yeah, so I'm creating a Telegram group next week. So please check your emails next week. From next week Monday, an email will be sent across, and most of your classes you're going to have next week and next for the next 2 weeks is going to be text based, but it's going to be supervised. It's going to be a supervised text based session. So each content will be rolled out the same time, but it's going to be supervised. Yeah. So yeah. Um, that's the end for today's class. I will just play some music and I hope you do enjoy. So feel free to leave. So I taught you what what was the so yeah, let's see. Let me do this now, right? Let's go. Let's do this. Let's see that. That's right. Yes. And inside the Alright. So now,